Alright, so this is going to be a little bit of a longer video. This one is about the Starhawk from Star Wars Squadrons and Chuck Wendig's Aftermath trilogy as well. So, I like the Starhawk. It's really cool. It's a big motherfucking ship. It's big. I fucking love it. And it's a beautiful hatchet shaped design. And it got me thinking, you know, based on how strong it is, because I watched the game vid for Star Wars Squadron, so it's pretty fucking awesome. It was a great fucking game. I loved it. But I'm glad I don't own it, because I don't feel like spending that kind of money. Um, like the Starhawk is super strong, and it has all these amazing armaments. Let me go through the details for you. So, to put it in perspective, it is, well, it costs 60 million credits to make. So, roughly, New Republic spent about, they made 3 of these bastards. They spent 180 million. That's one. Melting down, disassembling, reconstructing old Star Destroyers into Starhawks. So, that's a lot of money. So this thing, that's how much it costs. 60 million creds. Okay. It's 2,400 meters long, 900 meters tall, forward bow approximate. It has a class 1 hyperdrive with a class 5 backup. It has, its power plant is Magna batteries and fuel cells. It has deflector shields, long range sensors, nav computer. It had the armament for this thing is awesome as fuck. This thing, I want to see this thing in full battle mode. Now you can see that in Star Wars Squadrons, and you can read it or listen to it in the Aftermath trilogy as well. But you know, like a full battle, a full battle sequence would be awesome as fuck. It has 10 octuple turbo laser barbettes, 24 heavy turbo laser forward mounted turbo laser batteries, 40 ion cannon turrets, 4 ion cannon batteries, 32 hull mounted concussion missile launchers, 36 point defense heavy laser cannons, 6 Magnite crystal tractor beam arrays, ion torpedoes, and its complement. It can hold 36 X-Wings, 24 A-Wings, 12 B-Wings, numerous shuttles, landing craft, and utility vehicles, 2 docking bays. It can also escort a Corvette as well, which is pretty cool, or hold a Corvette to its side, which is neat. It has escape pods with its crew. That's how many escape pods it's got. 33,650 of them. That's crazy. It can carry 7,200 troops, consumables for 2 years. It has a comm system, and it was introduced in 5 ABY. So, yeah, this thing is a goddamn beast. And the artwork for it is gorgeous. I love the artwork. And it's also introduced in Star Wars Armada tabletop game as well. And I was going to buy it, like the vessel itself, but I don't have 70 fucking dollars. For me in perspective, I buy, like, you see me post about getting Star Wars Hot Wheels, that's the kind of shit size I'd get of it, but I'm not paying 70 fucking dollars for a high detailed toy. I'm cheap, man. But anyways, Starhawk. So this thing is a goddamn beast, as I've said numerous times now. How is it a beast? Its tractor beam is in the front. And that is interesting to me. It's very interesting because most tractor beams on starships are usually on the bottom or on the sides. And I mean, they're all around the ship, basically. But for it to be like a central focal point, that's very interesting. And seeing it used against the Star Destroyer in Star Wars Squadrons, and how it just drove it into the side of the wall, that was fucking amazing. So that made me wonder, given how strong the Starhawk is, and how it's made of, melted down and reconstructed Star Destroyers with Durasteel plating, how would it stand up against, the Yuuzhan Vong? How would it stand up against the old Sith Empire? How would it stand up against, a small fleet, honestly? You know, where is the best place to try this at? How would it factor into the Clone Wars? That's a big one. I mean, they're all big engagements. And, in terms of firepower, like that thing, it can take a hell of a beating. If you haven't watched Star Wars, if you haven't played Star Wars Squadrons or seen the game movie, I suggest you try it. It's oof. That thing can take a pounding. It's like it's like running a train on a girl who's up for that kind of shit, honestly. She takes a pounding and keeps on going. Wow. I mean, this thing is crazy. And in the end of Star Wars Squadrons, this thing destroyed a fucking moon. That's crazy. But the tractor beam. I want to talk about the tractor beam. That thing is strong that it can tow a Star Destroyer out of its flight path. That's pretty intense. That's as strong as the Dove and Basils that the Vong used to bring ships out of hyperspace and prevented them from going into hyperspace. That is strong as fuck. So my thinking in question is, can a Starhawk reverse what a Dove and Basil does? And could it also drag a Yuuzhan Vong Corvette out of its flight path as well? And also, would it decimate a Yuuzhan Vong Corvette? That's a huge question because it's so big, it's so armored, and it can take a beating. I mean, Christ, I forget what the compliment was for a Yuuzhan Vong world ship with Coral Skippers. I think it was like 500, 3 to 500 or something like that. I wonder how many of them it would wipe out before going down in flames. That's what I want to know. Because this thing is super strong, super tough. And because you have to pound out the shields. You have to take down the shields first before even doing a dent of damage to it. So you got to fight the shields, then you got to fight the plating, and its biggest weakness is Baradium missiles, which that's pretty cool. I like that it has a huge weakness against a certain type of firepower. That's really good. Because if you made it like super fucking invincible, like the Sun Crusher, I don't know. Like, I mean, Sun Crusher's cool because that's small and tough and really tiny and shit. But at the same time, like, it just, you want something that's actually beatable and has a decent weakness to it. But I wonder how many Coral Skippers it would take, just Coral Skippers, to wear down one Starhawk, much less a trio of them. Like, I mean, Christ, a trio of them would easily wipe out probably all 500 of them easily, including their complement of fighters as well. I don't know. It's something to really think about, and it makes me wonder. It's like, how would it work? Like, say the Starhawks were still in service and they were put into battle against the Yuuzhan Vong. I think the tide of war would turn quicker because they're stronger, they're more durable. But since the Yuuzhan Vong use plasma weapons, it would probably wear them out and bring them down maybe 3 times faster, I'd say. About 3 times faster than the average Star Destroyer did. That's a good estimate, I guess. I'm spitballing here. I'm not really serious. I'm just like guesstimating on stuff. It would be interesting to see how they would fare during that final battle, because that final battle against the Vong was badass. I loved that so much. It was so beautiful. But I hate that it ended in a stalemate. That pissed me off. Like, no! Made me so mad. Like, damn it. And going back in time, the Clone Wars would have been interesting because, I mean, that was the Clone Wars. Like, that was some heavy duty shit. Now, there was one thing about the Clone Wars that really bugged me, and that was Pago the Lesser. Having the Geonosians developing the Death Star, that was interesting. That made me super happy. I was like, that's so cool. And I'm wondering why we never got an Infinity story on the prequels. Like, we got it for the OT. It's alright. Although we should have had it for the prequels and the sequels as well. That would have been really good. But if, like, the Geonosians, if they had kept the Death Star, developed that shit, and used it, that would have really turned the tide for how the galaxy was shaped. And it would have brought a lot of more focus into who rules what and how, New Republic and the Empire fought, basically. But going back to Starhawk and the Clone Wars, though, say they developed the money to build a Starhawk during the Clone Wars. That shit would be monstrous. They wouldn't even need. And given how long the Clone Wars lasted, I would say they'd probably only need 1 or 2 of them. Just 1 or 2, honestly. Because the way it's so strong and armor plated, it really wouldn't need that much maintenance, to be honest. And given how droids are, and I would imagine in a crew of 33,000, I would imagine some of them are droids. So, that's 2. So, you figure maintenance on the droids, maintenance on the ship, plus the numerous engagements against the CIS and the banking clan and just everybody on the opposite side. It would be interesting to see how the battle would turn in the New Republic's favor. Or the Republic's favor, I should say. I think the Clone Wars would have ended a lot sooner. That's for sure. I mean, if they put out, because the Venator class Star Destroyer, I love that one. It's so beautiful. It's pretty. But the Venator, I like that one and its design and everything. Though, the Starhawk versus that, I would say the Starhawk would probably blow through it easily. and a Starhawk versus the Invisible Hand. Whew, I don't know. I mean, that'd be interesting to see. Well, it would get disabled. Like if a Starhawk went up against the Invisible Hands, uh, what the fuck was that thing called? Oh, dumbass. Um, Ion Beam. Yeah, Ion Blast on the side. I mean, that would be interesting to see if it could even handle that blast. I mean, because given how big that ship is, how big both of them are, it would take a long time for it to maneuver out of the way of the blast. But in terms of sheer firepower and how both of them can take a beating and still keep going, I wouldn't be surprised if it ended in a stalemate. Honestly, I really wouldn't be surprised if it ended in a stalemate. But I think if the Clone Wars had at least two Starhawks, just two, I think the war would have ended in half that time. Because you're talking about two fucking Starhawks busting ass across the galaxy and still maintaining order. And then having that switch over to being, Vader's flagships and shit, those would easily, there wouldn't be a fucking New Republic whatsoever. That would just be death over and over, just like ugh. Um, Going back to the old Sith Wars, like shit, with I'm trying to think who the fuck was that. Um, Ragnos, yeah, Ragnos, Gentapal, Chulak Horde, and oh, I forget the fourth motherfucker. I'm trying to think. I can't remember his damn name. But yeah, during that time, like, if that was invented back then, that would be some crazy shit too. Because that would just like, if either one had their hands on it, complete decimation of the other side easily. If it was done during the SWOR, SWTOR, with Malgus at the helm. Oh my god, Malgus would fucking rape with that thing. Shit. Malgus would kick some ass. Um it would be so interesting to see, which side had it and which side didn't in terms of that, and a start like basically the ship versus the ships of that time. Like a Starhawk versus a Harrower class. I think the Harrower class would get raped pretty hard. Because, it's not the future yet, and you're getting something from the future versus something in the past. So, if you're comparing firepower and, basic shielding, basic everything, and all the complements and shit, I think a Starhawk could easily wipe out. If it was the whole Sith Armada arriving back on Korriban, and it was the lone defender of Korriban, I would definitely say the Starhawk would hold its ground against low ball numbers. 25% of the Armada. About 25%. With its full complement, I'd say 25% at least. I don't want to be like, oh, it's going to wipe it all out. Like, no, I'd say about 25%. Because you factor in its firepower and that tractor beam. If it dragged all I have to do is lock the tractor beam on to one of the destroyers. It would yank it out of its stationary into the enemy fleet. Or no, into its comrades and cause a chain of destruction just in that fleet. It would be so fucking nuts. And it makes you wonder, it's like, how many tractor beams would be able to counteract one Starhawk tractor beam? That's a huge question. It's like, when you look at Dove and Basil's, basically you'd have to find, I don't know, you'd have to find a ship that can withstand that kind of shit. And I think the Starhawk could withstand the Dove and Basil attack. I think it could deflect it, maybe even reverse the polarity on it and destroy the ship inside itself, make it implode. It would just, it's one of them things that, you look at how strong a ship is and you want to compare it to other stronger ships and see how far it'll go in terms of battle. Now, during the Clone Wars, I would say maybe if they did 2 Starhawks, if they only had just 2, not 3, just 2, or maybe even 1. One could hold its ground against probably everything. Shit. Hold on. If Admiral Trench got his hands on a Starhawk, he would rape the fucking universe with this thing, because he would realize its power. He would realize its tactical advantages easily. He'd probably study the shit out of it day and fucking night and measure it and weigh it against the New Republic forces and use it in... He'd probably want to mass produce the shit out of it to have it... Oof, that hurts. To have a good, sized fleet of them. But if he was super smart, he'd probably save it for like a last resort kind of deal, where it would, be used for main tactical engagements versus, fucking nose. Oh, you cunt. It would be used for main tactical engagements only, not small skirmishes, because that would be a waste of its firepower. But he would have it where it would just... better. Where it would be for the main fights, and that's it. That's all he would use it for, would be main fighting. If you had the droid commander in charge, they would see the tactical advantage, but they would use it in every engagement, and its resources would get depleted a lot faster. However, if it was a whole droid crew of 33,650, wouldn't have to worry about that. It would be constant maintenance round the clock. They would make sure it'd be optimal and in tip-top shape. I mean, you have a bay of basically all droid fighters, droid shuttles, droid everything, and that bitch would just pop out of nowhere and lay down occupation like it was a slap on the back. It was like, high five! Occupied. What else? Here's a scenario I thought about, because this really intrigued me. Starhawks versus Snoke's flagship. This really intrigued me because Snoke's flagship is big as fuck. It is a mobile base. I think it has consumables for... Actually, hang on a minute. I'll find out. Come here. Ouch. Alright. I had to get my book. Damn it, give it to me. I got my Last Jedi cross sections with me. Bomber. Ah, there you are. You big son of a bitch. Perfect. There we go. This thing's huge. Oh. Okay. So, oof. I can't even fucking read it. There we go. So, this thing is huge. It is a dreadnought. It is 43,437.27 feet long. Wow. That's 13,239 meters, by the way. 60,052.68 meters wide. 3,975. Cocksucker. 3,975.35 meters tall. It has a crew of 2,225,000 personnel, including officers, stormtroopers, gunners, vehicle engineers, factory workers, tech specs, and communication staff. Weapons: thousands of heavy turbo lasers, anti-ship missile batteries, heavy ion cannons, and tractor beam projectors. Whoo, fun. So it is a mobile base. It can do a lot of fucking things. And it does a lot of goddamn damage. And got ripped apart by a... let me see, what the fuck was that? Oh, the Holdo maneuver. Let's see here. Oops. Back up. Back. Yeah, so 3 Starhawks versus Snoke's flagship. That'd be interesting to see. That'd be a hell of a fight. Let's see here. It'd be an interesting fight because it would be one of those that, in terms of firepower, like that would really, it would be a real hellacious fight in terms of, holding everything up. The Supremacy, that's his fucking name. I forgot the goddamn name. And I got the book in front of me. Dumbass. So, come on. Plus, I'm looking at it on my TV. There we go. Perfect. That. Okay, so this thing carries a lot of goddamn shit. Wow. So it's got first order drop ships. This is what makes it fun. Drop ships, AT-ATs, all terrain. Oh yeah, the AT MC-6 walkers, scout transports, Snoke shuttle, 8 Resurgent class Star Destroyers, 2 of them docked internally, 6 of them docked externally, XI class light shuttles, TIE FO Space Superiority Fighters, TIE SF Space Superiority Fighters, Kylo Ren's TIE Silencer, Praetorian Guard. So, yeah, against all that firepower, definitely against the TIE Fighters and 8 Resurgent class Star Destroyers. 3 Starhawks with their complements. I think the battle for that would be it would be evenly matched, I would say. Like, because one, it doesn't have Baradian missiles, so it's just turbo lasers and dogfights throughout. And the Starhawks wouldn't even have to move that far. Although, honestly, I think 3 of their tractor beams against... oh, man. Wow. Because in my head, I'm like seeing like 3 tractor beams locking onto 3 sections of supremacy and just gradually pulling it apart. Like that would be some crazy fucking shit to see. Like damn. Um, but I think subtract out the tractor beams because those could be that power could be transformed, transferred, transferred to shields, increasing shield power. That's just like my outlook on it. Like increase it to shield power. That way they have to fight through more shielding. Um, that like 3 against 9, basically. That would be a hell of a fight. Plus the resurgent Star Destroyers complement as well. Which, let me look that up. Oh god, this is going to be fun. This would be a hell of a fight. I mean, they'd be heavily outnumbered. But, oh my god, it would be so crazy. So, let's see here. So that's got 1,500 plus turbo lasers, point defense laser cannons, and ion cannons, point defense quad concussion missile emplacements, tractor beam projectors, 2 starfighter wings, TIE FO and TIE SF, first order TIE bombers, AAL 1971-91 troop transports, numerous ground vehicles, prefabricated ground base, and a first order light cruiser, and it has a short range evac vehicle. 19,000 officers, 55 enlisted, over 8,000 stormtroopers. Damn. And there's 8 of them motherfuckers. 8! 8 of that shit. So, yeah, oh Christ. You put that together, it would be they would be heavily outnumbered. But against all them numbers, I would definitely say, like, based on all that, plus the fighting, just everything, the small fighters, they would get obliterated. The resurgent classes, though, I think they would suffer at least low ball numbers, because I don't want to be like, ooh, they're going to wipe them all out. Low numbers. I'd say they would lose 2.5. To be fair, 2.5. 2.5 to 3. At most 3. And the Starhawks would probably lose in a heavy fight like that. Probably 1.5 at least. At least in terms of losses, 1.5 at least. It would be so fucking nuts to see that fight play out on the big screen. That'd be so much fun to see, or even in a video game, for fuck's sake. Christ. Because when you look at how strong something is and you break it down, and it's one weakness. The Starhawk's weakness is Baridium missiles, and the Supremacy's weakness is the Holdo maneuver. Or if you were to set off a bomb inside the Supremacy's engine room, cataclysmic shit going on. It's so crazy, and how it's a mobile base and shit. Like, damn, that's crazy. But just that fight would be amazing to watch. Just to see, see Snoke's reaction to all that going down, and having all that firepower just being exchanged. Oh, it'd be so nuts. And D-Box. Oh, fucking D-Box. I'd cream my panties over that. And I hate that fucking word. What else? Just be some nutty shit though, like wow. And then not only that, the other thing is with the going back to the Clone Wars fight, um, you have the droid. What are they? The droid pods? Yeah. The droid pods that invaded Kamino during the Kamino arc in Clone Wars. I don't know its actual fucking name. It's going Kamino arc. If they launched on the Starhawk, you would have, would it even penetrate the fucking hull? That's a good question. Given how thick the hulls are, I'd say maybe they would penetrate the hull. I don't know. But I'm just guesstimating. I'm like, maybe they would penetrate. Maybe it would take a while for them to penetrate the hull. You never know. Unless they gain direct access to the docking bays while in the hangars. If they gain full access to the hangars in the process. Like if they launched them into the hangar directly, like that would be their best bet. But through the hull, I don't know. I mean, that'd be interesting to see. Because, like you've seen it in the show how they just penetrated straight through the building and all that. And yeah, but you're talking about how it's made from melted down, reassembled Durasteel Star Destroyers. You never know. I mean, it could penetrate through it. It couldn't penetrate through it. You never know. But like, which battle would be the most decisive in this little analysis I'm doing? I would definitely go with, like personally, 3 Starhawks versus Snoke's flagship, because I would love to fucking see that shit. Just like, oh, it's so cool. But also, in terms of details and firepower, I would want to see how the Starhawks handle against the Yuuzhan Vong Dove Basils and a Yuuzhan Vong world ship for that matter. Like a world ship, that would be epic to see that kind of fight. I think I'm trying to think. Because I don't want to be like 3 of them. Like 3 instantly would dominate. I think 2 would make a huge difference. 3 would be kind of overkill. But then again, it all depends on who's in command. Who's commanding these Starhawks. If it was Thrawn in command of the Starhawks, he would do every tactical advantage with that like a motherfucker, like flawless. He wouldn't fuck it up. If it was Trench, it would go so far as it would be an impenetrable defense, literally. He would take care of that and save it for main skirmishes only, and measure it and gauge it properly. Same with Thrawn. If Dala, there's a good one. If Dala developed the Starhawks while in the mall, dude, that would be fucking sick as hell. Like, she would come out of there with a fucking Starhawk, like, you can suck my dick or get fucked. Plain and simple. Like, you can suck my dick or die. But if she had control of the Starhawks, she would definitely seize power. She would definitely be Yeah, she would. She would overthrow the Empire. She'd make them bow down to her power easily with it. One Starhawk? Oh my god. With a trio of them? A trio? Oh Christ. Man, she would have full swing control of the Imperial Remnant easily. Nobody would dare go up against her ass. Fuck. Hell, she would probably save the fucking day from the Yuuzhan Vong invasion if, um, or no, better yet, Dala's got 3 Starhawks versus the Vong. Okay, it's just her versus the Vong. She would take heavy losses. Both sides would take heavy losses. She would lose at least one Starhawk for that. At least one. She'd still have 2 left. She would beat the fuck out of the Vong and send them packing or enslave them and incorporate their technologies into an experimental Starhawk. And then there would be an experimental Starhawk to fuck with. That's, part Vong, part tech. And it would be absolutely batshit nuts to see that go down. Like, I totally forgot about Dala. Totally did. If Thrawn had that shit, if he had 3 Starhawks, he would dominate. Oh my god, he would just, nobody would touch his ass. Nobody. But out of all them decisive fights, especially during the old Republic and whatnot, that would make a huge difference on either side of the field if the old Republic military had a Starhawk, just one, against the old Republic Sith. It would go a long way. If Valkorion got his hands on that shit, it would be nuts. If here's a good one. Here's a really good scary one. If the Starforge had the blueprints for Starhawks, you'd have an infinite fleet of Starhawks raping the galaxy. Because I love that dark side ending so much. Like, I love that. But like a whole infinite fleet of Starhawks. That's some ass raping raw power, man. Like, ooh, that's like no mercy rape. Woo. That's like raping you with Baby Shark on repeat. But it would be interesting to see Malik's fleet. Here's a really good one. Okay. Starhawk is at the Battle of Starforge, and it is under the Old Republic Navy, okay? And Bastille is using battle meditation. That shit would turn the tide either way, because you have both endings, light and dark. So either way, she could turn the tide, especially if she's on the Starhawk's bridge. Shit, dude, that'd be nuts. Oh my god. Revan would have a flagship, would have the Starhawk as his flagship. Oh man, that'd be crazy. If the Rakatans made the Starhawk, that would be absolutely outstanding. To have that shit done, like, what was the one they made? Something Grave. Hold on, I gotta look this up because I don't remember. There we go. Search. Oops. Grave. Crap. I think it was the Grave Hound. It was something Grave. I don't remember. But yeah, that was a cool ship. I mean, that really decimated pretty strong, and I would love to see that go up against a Starhawk. Gravedigger. I think that's right. That sounds right. Let's see. It's not loading. That sucks. Oh well. But yeah, I think it was the Gravedigger. There we go. Now it's going through. No, not the Gravedigger. Poop. I don't remember. Whatever. But that grave. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, if that ship went up against the Starhawk, that would be some cool shit to see in action. But to see three of them go up against Valkorian's Eternal Fleet, ooh, that would be some cool shit. But would okay. They can coordinate their attack and blow shit up. That's cool. But would three tractor beams be able to stop that shit? You know? That's what I wonder. So, yeah, that's some fun stuff. So, that's about how I feel about the Starhawk. This is fun vid. But I have to cut it short because I gotta piss. So, yeah. So, until next time, like and subscribe for thoughts and prayers.